Samsung is launching the S23 Ultra on February 1st, which is a little sooner than I anticipated. Now most of the specs about this flagship have leaked, so I wanted to make a comparison video of the best of Samsung versus the best of Apple. Now in terms of the design, both these companies are playing it safe. Samsung has not taken a bold design choice for a long time, and it's visible in the S23 Ultra, which is an exact replica of the S22 Ultra. Apple is also in the same boat as Samsung. The iPhone 14 Pro Max doesn't deviate a lot from the 13 Pro Max. Even then, if I had to choose, I would choose the S23 Ultra. It's because of the fact that this phone has an S Pen in it. And honestly, any design is better than Apple's 4-year-old iPhone 11 Pro's recycled design. Display is where things will get a little interesting. Samsung has always been on top with their beautiful curved AMOLED panels, which attain the highest possible brightness for any smartphone. On the other hand, Apple surprised everyone with their 2000 nits bright display. I expect both the displays to be quite similar. Where Apple slightly takes the lead is in the dynamic island. As much as it obstructs the content on the screen, Apple needs to be applauded for taking a generic display cutout and making it an interesting software feature. Plus, you cannot beat the convenience of having a flat panel, and that is why, surprisingly, I have to give the win to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. When it comes to battery life, we know the Pro Max iPhone is usually the king. In fact, I suspect it'll likely be the same between these phones as well. Although the S23 Ultra will have a larger 5000 mAh battery, yet the more optimized iPhone 14 Pro Max should be able to outlast it. However, things could get interesting with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. Maybe we'll witness an upset and watch the S23 Ultra take the win. Also, the S23 Ultra charges faster than the iPhone. It also has reverse wireless charging, which might come handy a few times. So the S23 Ultra does have an edge over the iPhone. Now speaking of Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, Snapdragon is promising a lot of improvements. The S22 Ultra already beat the iPhone in a few speed test videos, and I can't imagine the S23 Ultra being slower. Of course, the real test should be done once the phones are a few years old, but no one remembers that. Software is also a personal choice. Samsung's One UI has come a long way and is still improving every year. Even then, Apple still has the upper hand due to faster software updates and interesting features like the dynamic island. But the main battle between these devices is in the camera department. Samsung is going all in with the main camera sensor. It'll be the first time we see one of the main smartphone manufacturers use a 200 megapixel main sensor. This sensor is believed to help take better low light as well as more detailed shots, but we'll see if that's true. I also feel Samsung will have a surprise feature in the portrait shots. Last year, Samsung really stepped up their game and had one of the best edge detections on portraits, and I expect it'll be even better this year. Along with that, we have the ultra-wide, 3x and 10x optical zoom sensors. The front camera is also a whopping 40 megapixel, so that should mean amazing selfies. In terms of the video quality, iPhones have been the king for the longest possible time. On paper though, the S23 Ultra has a lot to offer. It has 8K video recording, which was expected in the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but we didn't get it. Strangely enough, there is no 4K 120fps mode listed in the Samsung or the iPhone. I don't expect the S23 Ultra to surpass the 14 Pro Max in the video category, but it should be a close contest. What we won't be surprised by is the price tag. The iPhone 14 Pro Max sells for $1099 US, and the S23 Ultra is expected to be $100 more expensive, coming in at $1199 USD. For the features this phone offers, $1200 is actually not that bad. Plus, there are rumors of the base model being 256GB, which should make the $1200 a bit more digestible. Well, that's it for this video guys. Let me know if you're team iPhone or team Samsung, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.